A long time ago, a good friend of the channel, Paul McCartney, once told me, Kyle, move over, Magneto and Titanium Man. Crimson Dynamo's on his way in, and I'm going to write a song about it. And he did in the classic Wings album from the 70s. But today, we're taking a look at Crimson Dynamo Marvel Select.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Marvel Select unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we got that devious Crimson Dynamo. But for all your Crimson Dynamo needs and a whole lot more, make sure you hit up Entertainment Earth. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10% all in-stock items. Anything over $79 does ship free. Got to get a deal out there. And I think we pre-ordered this maybe a year ago, roughly a year ago at this point. And it feels like it's been a heck of a long time on the channels since we have unboxed a Marvel Select figure. But here we are today. We got the Crimson Dynamo. We're building out the Russian teams. That's what we're doing here. We're going to do some comparisons later on in this video. And of course, we're going to do this video like we do all the other videos on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And myself, like a lot of collectors, we dabble in the Marvel Selects, especially the Marvel Select characters that are a little bit bigger that you can mix in with your Marvel Legends. That's my specialty, and a lot of others, that's what we do out there. Because I would like to collect every Marvel Select. There's just only so much budget, only so much room to go around. And I do know some people don't collect the Legends, they collect the Selects, and they put them with their McFarlanes. Todd, can you hear that? Oh my gosh, Todd can't believe it, but they do put those together because they kind of do scale with the McFarlane figures, as we do know. But this guy, for me, he's going to go into my Marvel Legends collection is where he's going to end up. But of course, let's take a look at the packaging on this one. Very similar packaging that we get with Marvel Selects. Something comforting about this packaging. There's something about going into a toy store or a comic book store and seeing these, and it just feels like all's right in the world a little bit. I don't know. They don't change the packaging. It is what it is. They're out there all the time. Something to be said about that in this day and age. Of course, Marvel Select up there. The old Crimson Dynamo. The old Crimson Dynamo. Looking good. Big window box. Letting all the light in. Letting you see everything that's going on there. Little glamour shot on the side. Looking wild. And then I think a little blurb maybe at the top. We'll see. And then you got some glamour shots. UPCs. Jibber Jabber City at the bottom. Let's see what it says about old Crimson Dynamo. Through many have donned the iconic armor of the Crimson Dynamo. I haven't yet. No man has borne the mantle longer than Dmitry Bukharin. Oh, Dmitry, one of the all-time great Dmitries. Originally suiting up during the Soviet era. Oh, one of the worst eras, I've heard. At the behest of the KGB, Bukharin's allegiances, easy for me to say, and affiliations have changed numerous times, having acted as both an enemy and an ally to his longtime American counterpart, Iron Man. The Crimson Dynamo has most recently served his motherland as a member of the heroic Winter Guard. And we're going to build out that Winter Guard team here today. Let's do it. Why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we? Let's get them out here, though. Ages 8 and up. Can you believe that? You 7-year-olds? What did I tell you? You get out of here. You get out of here, 7-year-olds. We've had enough of you. We've had enough. Ooh. Smells like a factory is what that feels. It's great fragrance. I always try to capture this smell and then put it throughout here. I want this to smell just like a plastic factory. See you later. Goodbye as we bounce through the halls right there. We do get the old Marvel Select cross-sell pamphlet. Always something special about this. Brings me back to the old Kenner days when I was a kid. You get those pamphlets, those old magazines. You kind of go through them like, oh my gosh, I need this, I need this, I need that, especially that. Got all that kind of going on there. But you got Carnage, Thanos, Endgame, Hulk, Taskmaster. We've seen all these in the past. Same thing over here. No updates. I need to update these pamphlets a little bit more, I do believe. But very cool to see. I do like this. A little nostalgia right there. See you later. Goodbye. And oh my gosh, old Dimitri Martin and his Laugh-In or whatever it is, he's locked in pretty good. Not Martin, but we'll call him Dimitri Martin. We're a big fan over here. But there he is in the plastic prison. But we got enough twist ties to make Todd McFarlane on the couch blush, so we're going to take this offline, get him out of the pack. We'll be back talking all things Dmitry Dynamo. All right, let's get down to business with the old Crimson Dynamo. And the first time I ever heard Crimson Dynamo, as I talked about at the top, was the old Paul McCartney and Wings song, Magneto and Titanium Man. Man, Wings, one of my favorite bands ever. Paul McCartney, I have heard he had a solo career, and I also heard he had a band before Wings. Somebody fact check that. I don't know if that'll ever pan out. But Wings, an all-timer. I still say Back to the Egg by Wings could be the greatest Paul McCartney album of all time. You're never going to change my mind. But let's dive into this. Let's dive into the accessories first. Two-fisted Dimitri Fury right out of the package. He's throwing haymakers left and right. He's a wild man. He's a wild man from the Soviet Union is what he is. But he also has two splayed-out hands, and he'll give and he will take. That's what he will do. So we do got those going on. Then we got two gripping hands. Not sure what he's going to grip, but if he wants to, he can do some gripping if he needs to. So we got that going on there. Then we got some crazy hands right here. I like the looks of this. They are hands here, splayed out hands, but they got some effects going on. He's firing out some stuff. He's firing out some shots. We're here for that. Very cool translucent red plastic. Love this. Of course, that kind of reddish brown rust color on the hands, of course, and the whole body of this one, which we'll dissect here in a second. Now we're going to get down to a few interesting things, and we do get a head out of here. We get a second head here, and then we got two face plates that make him look a little bit different. But I guess let's look at the stock head here first. I do like this head. If I was bald, this is a look I would probably rock. Love the old Raleigh fingers, kind of the push broom going on. An old classic I used to rock back in the day. Might have to bring that mustache back. We'll see if that happens. But I do like this. I love the touch of gray right there. Like a young Jerry Garcia in the Grateful Dead. He's got a little touch of gray in his beard. Looking very interesting. Piercing blue eyes. Big bald head. Two eyes, a nose, a mouth, and two ears. So he's really playing a lot of those human hits here. And love, love, love the beard on this one. So looks very cool, but looks a little bit strange. Obviously, it's a guy in a suit, so I don't know. I think I'll probably end up displaying him with his helmet on, though. But we'll have to choose our own adventure. We always end up doing that anyways. But definitely looking good here. Now, the second head, looking like the Crimson Dynamo in a lot of ways. Got those three kind of mouth things. Got the white eyes there. It is a straight-up head. It's not a helmet that goes over the top, anything like that. And it's kind of wild that this second head is smaller than his human head, which kind of seems strange. It should be bigger than his human head, you would think. How else does he have it on? I don't know, but it is interesting, but I'm probably leaning towards a helmeted look for this one here. I should mention here, now the faceplate does come off on this, just plugs right out very easily, and you can plug in these different faceplates if you want to. So, very interesting second faceplate. I guess a different interpretation of the character. He's got kind of like a visor over the front there. You got the three prongs in the front. Not terribly different, but if you like that one better, you can choose that adventure, of course. And then the third one is pretty cool as well. A little blast effect coming out of the eyes. Just bam, just shooting those lasers out. Of course, they do match the ones from the hands. I do like the looks of that, though. Gonna be tough. Gonna be tough to choose what road to go down on this one. There's no doubt there. But then, of course, we got all the accessories done. Now we're gonna dive into the figure here. You gotta truly choose your own head adventure on this one. I guess we'll walk through articulation first. I love these gears on his shoulder here. It almost looks like you're rotating the gears around, I guess. So you do rotate that. A little bit of looseness for me. I don't know. Your mileage may vary, as I always do say. But some looseness right there. Arms do go out for us. You do get a bicep cut. You get some worthless elbow. I mean, there's really no, it's single jointed. You do get the side to side, but not a whole lot of movement right there. That's for sure. Hands removable, back forth, side to side, fist of fury as we talked about. Do get the hula hoop mid-waist articulation. No traditional waist on this one. Head removable, back forth, side to side, a little bit of down, really no up, so not a ton of movement there. Leg does go up a little bit. He's a guy in a suit. It's a metal suit. I guess it's hard to be articulate in here. Or articulated. Who knows? But he's going back and forth. A little bit of that going on. You do get a single jointed knee, side to side. Not a ton of articulation there. No boot cut on him. Ankles back and forth. Up and down. Pretty good movement out of this. Not tight at all. Big feet on him, which you got to have for a big dude like him. He better have some big feet. But looking interesting. And then, of course, we talked about the suit. Got a little bit of shine to it, but it's a very kind of rusted, reddish, brownish color. I guess a maroon, maybe, is what we would call this. Definitely an interesting look. I wouldn't say it's plain Jane, but it's kind of plain Jane at the same time. So it's an interesting look to him here. And he does look a little strange with this head on. I feel like, there we go. Pop that out. I'm going to pop this on. I mean, this looks a little bit better to me. Maybe that's just me. You guys tell me there. And of course, faceplates come off. Going to put back that first faceplate. Doesn't look terrible for sure. I don't know. I go back and forth. It just feels like it's a really big figure with a guy with a big head. It's like he's Andre the Giant or something. I don't know. But I do like the looks of this one. One thing I didn't make note of is on the back he's got a little hole in his belt. Not sure exactly what that's for. I guess you could stick a hand back there. No, nothing fits back there. So I don't know. Just a random hole. Oh, we all got them, I guess. We got those random holes you got to watch out for. I should check. Does he fit on a Mattel Ringside Collectible stand? Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10% at Ringside Collectibles, of course. And he does fit on that stand if need be, if you want to stand for him for whatever reason. But an interesting figure here. I like that we're building out some Winter Guard. Of course, Titanium Man was the sleeper from last year. Bust him out right here. You got these guys together looking good. And just missing Magneto, and we can redo the Wings song right here at the table. Magneto and Titanium Man. But I like that. He is much bigger. Very, very cool idea. Of course, he also, Titanium Man, had an extra head of a human head. So you could display them human heads together. They could be holding their helmets. They could be chatted up in the break room. Who knows what they're doing, but you could do that if you wanted to. I did talk about the rest of the Winter Guard. I do put those guys with them here. So you got a couple of them right in the front. And then, of course, you got the big old bear here. How about that little Build-A-Figure action? We're building out that Winter Guard team. You know here I'm all about building out these teams. Wouldn't be shocked to see a Titanium Man Build-A-Figure in the future as well, especially with that recently announced at WonderCon Marvel Legends throwback Iron Man wave. I could see in the future maybe getting a Titanium Man over there. We could see what happens. And speaking of Crimson Dynamo, we did recently get a Build-A-Figure of him. I would really like Marvel Legends team to tackle a more classic Crimson Dynamo, and maybe that'll be in the future for us here, but definitely different interpretations of the characters, and like they said on the back of the package, there's been different interpretations over the years, so I guess the math does check out, as one may say here. But very fun to build this out. Like I said, I dabble in the Marvel Selects. Things like this I'm jumping in for, and I'm sure some of you, if you're watching this, you're probably jumping in for as well. But what are your thoughts on the old Crimson Dynamo? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And you also made it this far, don't forget to thumbs up the video. Always helps the channel when you give it the old thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel and my other YouTube channel. 2 YouTube channels going on right now. Can you believe it? Make sure you're subscribed to those channels. Patreon, early access to both channels' videos. All the glamour shots from all the videos. All kinds of stuff. And Patreon, the best way to support the channel. You can also support the channel at PersonTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. And don't forget my book, the hardcover exclusive, Barnes & Noble. Softcover, recommend grabbing over on Amazon. Of course, it is a complete guide to classic superstars by yours truly. Almost 700 pages of content. Appreciate all the support. And if you do want an autographed copy, hit me up over on social media, SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, and on Instagram. So, for the Winter Guard, and the Crimson Dynamo, and Paul McCartney too, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.